Hey, welcome. So this is a tutorial from the Society for Cybersecurity at the University of Georgia. And one of the many exercises we are going to do to improve our cybersecurity skills involves OverTheWire.org, which is a site that hosts a variety of war games. And for starters, we're going to start with the most basic war game there is to offer. It's very beginner friendly. And in this video, I'll walk you through how to set up the game, how to play the game, so you'll be able to practice hacking on your own. So first, we're going to start with Bandit. So you'll go to overthewire.org.com and you will navigate to the Bandit page by clicking on Bandit on the left side of the screen. And note the SSH information. This allows you to connect to their remote machine or remote server so you can sort of play around and hack without damaging your own system. And you can see we have 34 levels in the Bandit war game. And we start on level 0 here. And here's a note for beginners. This is helpful. A lot of the information they provide will help you navigate the game on your own, so be sure to read that. They have a lot of resources to offer if you get stuck during this video. So we're going to click on level 0 to begin. And here we have the level goals. So each level, you're going to read what the level goal is. This is sort of your task that you have to complete in order to progress to the next level and eventually complete this war game. And they let you know which commands you'll need to solve this level. So here, this is SSH. And if you don't exactly know what these commands mean, you can look up the helpful reading material here. These are links that you can do to do some research, and I highly encourage you to do so. And here you see the level goal is for you to log into the game using SSH. You're going to connect to bandit.labs@overthewire.org on port 2220 using username bandit0 and password bandit0. And this is a theme you'll see across all levels. This is essential to playing the game, and I'm going to walk you through it here now. Okay, so I'm using a Windows machine. So whether you use Mac or a Windows system or even Linux, you will type in your search tab. You can simply type terminal or command prompt. On Windows, you'll have Windows PowerShell. On Mac, I believe you have the terminal. And on Linux, you'll also have a terminal, I believe. Um, but regardless, it'll look something like this, and it's all very similar, right? So first, we are told on level 0 to log into the game using SSH. So SSH is the command. And then if you look at the SSH information on the level 0 page on overthewire.org, I recommend you minimize your command prompt like I am and sort of have your over the wire page open so you can look back and forth to complete these levels. So excuse my keyboard ASMR here. And so you'll type this out and you see this is your username here, Bandit0. This will be your username for this level. And each level has an associated SSH, but they all follow a similar prompt. So I'll sort of show you a life hack to progress through the levels efficiently. And -P is an option to SSH. It specifies which port you're connecting to. And again, you don't really need to know all these buzzwords to play the game. However, I do highly recommend you check out some of the reading material. So just so you sort of know what's going on here. I can go more in depth in future videos, but for now, I want to set up the game for you all. And so you see the gist of how to play these war games so you can be on your own to play. So I believe this command is correct. Let's see if it works. Sweet. So when you see this pop up, you know that You're on the right track, and now it's asking for the password. Recall back on the Bandit level 0 page, it gives you the password next to the username. And for now, on level 0, the password is simply Bandit0. So you just heard me typing, but you don't see anything on the screen. When you type in the password, when you type in any SSH password, it's going to be invisible. This is sort of an archaic security feature. It can be a hassle to deal with sometimes, but as you can see, when I typed it in, it did work. Luckily, now here in a couple levels, you'll see it can get tedious when you have very long strings for your password. However, I'm going to show you a tip to bypass that. And also, you see here they have a Discord. You can also join that as well, and they'll help you out. And also, I'll plug the Society for Cybersecurity Discord in the description of this video. And feel free to reach out to our awesome community if you need any help. But for now, we're in, and you can just type ls. Ls stands for list. It lists all of the files in your current directory. And there we see README. And since README is just a text file, we can tell it's not another directory because it doesn't have, it's not colored. So we can use cat README. Cat stands for concatenation. Concatenation has multiple definitions, but in this context, you're simply outputting the contents of the README file to the screen. And that's what we want to do because we want to get access to the password for the next level. Sweet, there we go. So this is our password to get into level 1. I'm going to show you what to do with this password and how to get into level 1. And from there, sort of rinse and repeat the strategy I'm about to show you, and you'll be able to progress through the war game. You will just have to learn new commands and figure out these puzzles all on your own. However, once I sort of showed you how to play the game, you'll be fully capable of doing that. Now, the tricky thing is, on different systems, there's different ways you can copy and paste something from the command prompt. So this, you're going to have to do some trial and error here. I'm going to leave it up to you how to figure that out, but you want to copy this and open, pro tip here, open a notepad or just a note in a separate tab. Figure out how to copy and paste this command like I'm trying here. I'm going to try Control C. Okay, so on a Windows system, if you highlight it, Control C, go to your notepad and Control V. Control C is to copy via your keybinds, and Control V is to paste via your keybinds. So that's one way you can copy and paste your password. I recommend keeping all the passwords in a text document on your computer. So if you want to return to playing this game later, you won't have to redo a bunch of levels, right? So sweet, we have the password. I'm going to exit this level. When you want to exit a level, you just hit exit. Sweet, and if you press up on your arrow keys, so the arrow keys on your keyboard, just press on the top arrow key. It searches through your command history. So when you hit up on the arrow keys, it will go to the last command you used. And since the last command we used on our local machine, not over the wires, but our local machine, was this SSH command, we can simply just scroll over like you saw me do, delete the 0 and put a 1, and that's for level 1. So now, each time you begin or finish a level, you're going to navigate back to the OverTheWire website, and you will click on the next level so you can see your next prompt. So now I'm going to try and show you the OverTheWire website. So hopefully you can see this. So we're back on OverTheWire. And it says the password for this level is in a README file. Use this password to log into Bandit 1. I believe we've already done this. So again, I'm going to show you my terminal. So hopefully you're back to my terminal now, and we're going to try and access the next level. So it's asking for that password. Now this is where things can get a little tricky. Just have some patience and do trial and error. Since you can't see your long password when you copy and paste it here, you're not going to want to individually type out each password. You're going to want to figure out how to paste it here, and you're just going to have faith that it pastes correctly. And it certainly will. You just have to figure out how your machine wants to work with that. Um, and here on this level, the password to the next level is stored in this dash. And the tricky thing about this is files in bash, which is what this terminal is using, they can't start with special characters. You'll never really want to name a file with a special character because it's kind of a pain. But again, we're going to do what we did before, but I believe this will work. So the ./ represents the path from the current directory to this special character titled file. But since you do it in this format, the operating system or bash is able to recognize that you're trying to access a file. So you see that worked for me. And back on OverTheWire, I believe this is level 1 to level 2. It'll give you more information if you get stuck. The reading materials for each level is your key to success here. So again, we're going to copy, and you can't see my text file, but I'm copying it. I'm pasting it into a text file on the side. So now we're going to exit the level, rinse and repeat. We're going from 1 to 2. We have the password to level 2. Now you can sort of see how fast you can go once you get the gist of the game. So sweet, we're on level 2. So now this will sort of be the last run through I show you here. But now we're going to go back to OverTheWire. We're going to see the level goal. It says the password is stored in spaces in this file name located in the home directory. And then again, there's the helpful reading material there. Google's your best friend in the realm of cybersecurity and computer science. So you have spaces in this name. Now you're going to go back to your terminal, since now you understand what the task is. And we are going to play around a little bit. So let's see what files we have in this current directory. Okay, cool. So it's spaces in this file name. And the reason why this is tricky is because, again, just like with the special symbols, you don't want spaces when you name files because bash and your operating system has a hard time trying to distinguish whether you're trying to access multiple files or you just put spaces in your file name. So definitely don't do that, but we're going to see if this works here. So let's see if we have any luck. Sweet, got it first try. Again, it was sort of like with the dash on the last level, except here you want to use quotation marks. So bash is able to distinguish, okay, spaces in this file name is a single string of text. Because usually when bash parses commands, spaces are like a delimiter for it to distinguish what you're trying to do. But here, when you put the quotation marks, it reads it as a whole thing, right? So that's how you get past this problem. And again, lastly, just so you guys get the gist of it, copy. We're going to put it in a text file. And we're going to exit the level. And then when you progress throughout the game, you're just going to keep rinsing and repeating. Hopefully that's straightforward for you all. And you can do this for all 33 levels. We are going to release more tutorials for each level as we progress through this game. I just wanted to sort of set you all up and sort of give you some tips on how you can progress through this game. As you progress, the levels are going to get more and more advanced. That's when you're going to rely on the reading materials. However, if the reading materials do not suffice and you're still a little confused, definitely reach out to the community at the Society for Cybersecurity at the University of Georgia. We have a lot of passionate hackers who are very beginner friendly, willing to help. And also, if you're looking for for other answers, you can consult the Over the Wire Discord. They're very helpful in there too. They've helped me with things in the past. And also, if you encounter a specific SSH issue, I'm going to put a link in the description for that. Yeah, so just drop comments or anything like that if you run into specific issues. We've seen it all here at SCS, and we would love to help you out. So I hope that was a straightforward tutorial, and I hope you enjoy practicing your skills. Thank you.